Hello, hello. Let's do a quick reading on slippers. Mr. Slippers. Mr. Slippers made billions of dollars and went to Washington. I don't know what number wife he is on. I have seen a photo that his wife is much younger than he is, so I'm going to guess she's not the first, although I do not know that. But Mr. Slippers was, the thing that people are forgetting is that he was on the board of directors, or he might have been the person in charge, the board of directors of the Bank of Cyprus. And he was on that board of directors with a whole bunch of oligarchs, or people standing in for oligarchs. And they were laundering money like, it was Calgon take me away time. They laundered money like everybody who worked there was a scrubbing bubble. So, Mr. Slippers, what's going to happen to you? He sleeps through his, he falls asleep in meetings all the time. He is, goodness, isn't he pushing 90? I should have looked that up. He's not in good enough health to have the job that he has. And that's nothing bad. It's just, we're human. We age. It's what we do. Even what the kiddies do, but don't tell him. But Mr. Slippers, he has his job because boy does he have the goods on Trump. Knight of Cups. This feels like someone working for Mr. Slippers. Mr. Slippers is not only is he too old to be a knight, he is so not a cup guy. He's not a king of cups. He's not if ever there was a king of pentacles. Mr. Slippers, when the government was shut down, does anyone even remember that the government was shut down at the beginning of the year? I mean, just like, completely forgot. Mr. Slippers said in front of everybody, I don't understand why these people are complaining they don't have money. They can just go down to the bank and get a loan. Because he could not comprehend the idea that people would not fall all over him to do whatever he wanted because he has so much money. He's so beyond clueless as to what the world is really like at this point. Yeah, and people are every one of his whims in the past. This is the 10 of Cups, 10 of Ghosts. There has been corruption. This card came up in the same place on a reading I did on the Trump and the emoluments, revival of that case. There has been a certain strain of oligarchy in our own country where money is siphoning into more money into this fewer and fewer people. And that's just how we've lived until it's just become too untenable, which is why you see the real backlash starting. Center of the reading, 8 of Pumpkins. I realized that a lot about this deck it has like kind of a childlike energy to it, a fun energy. But what this feels like is that Mr. Slippers himself has a very oversimplistic view. And it's also, he's not a spring chicken. And if you think back to when he was born, when he sort of became aware of the world, which you do when you're about maybe 12-ish, and then when you go out into the world in your late teens, it was a very different time. And there was There was white collar and blue collar and men and women and everything and black and white, and everything had its place, and it's a very oversimplified view. Base of the reading. Oh goodness. Eight of Swords and the Death card. This just feels like what I was saying earlier, that no, there's nothing like, it isn't like imminent, but he's not young. And you get to that age and let's just face it, I mean, I don't mean this in a negative way, it's just, he has so much less time ahead of him than he has behind him, and Washington, D.C. there's a lot of red tape, a lot of confusion and things that have to be dealt with, and he's not up to it. He's not up to his job. That's what that feels like. Above the reading, Eight of Cups and the Page of Cups. And these are balancing them out. His view of the world, that he really can't do his job anymore. I'm not saying that no one over a certain age can work. I'm not at all. I'm saying that he shouldn't be. This is like the people I mentioned when the government shut down, who were all hurting, and he was just walking through with in this deck, pumpkins are pentacles, so it's the money. He's just walking through being completely clueless, and everyone is upset, and even the moon is like, what? This Page of Ghosts is almost like the opposite of this older way of looking. This is a young millennial. And this is what's hanging above him. All right, near future. Six of Swords. And the Nine of Pentacles. This travel, it feels like it has to do with the Bank of Cyprus. Over deals done overseas. The Nine, this is the Sitting Pretty card. And that feels like his wife. So this feels, there might be some travel involved with this job, but no, this woman here is holding it looks like a woman, may not be, but she's holding a pumpkin in her lap. And again, pumpkins in this deck are pentacles, which is money. So I think that there's some stuff against him, and basically I don't know anybody who thinks that man would ever see the inside of a jail, ever, just because he has so much money. Home environment, Chariot. Yeah, he does what he wants. This is, see how, you can see how, that is one stressed cat sitting in the front. Because he's driving erratically. And here's the Sphinx, which is also a symbol of ancient Egypt with the pharaohs who did whatever they wanted. So this is, he's moving and he's just doing whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Hopes and fears. There you go, King of Pentacles. And he's asleep. And he just wants to be in his slippers with his wife with lots and lots of money. That's what he's hoping for. Other people see Knight of Pentacles. This again feels like this. It feels like things he's doing, things he's done are coming to light. Whether it's insider trading or money laundering or, I mean, every other kind of financial crime you can think of. You know, I find it funny, the first time I heard Lena say it, Lena Rodriguez, who is the bomb. She is great. Lena, one of the things that she said was, behind every great fortune is a great crime. And I realize that's a saying, and there are lots of people who use it. But in America, we have been so materialistic for so long. I can't remember the last time I heard that. Whereas it's used in other parts of the world much more frequently. That says something about us. Final outcome, the Hermit. Again, I can fix it. I have money. I can do what I want. careening out of control, saying, just fix it, I'll just do this. And, then the room's filled with a toxic cloud of who knows what. Knight of Bats and is the Knight of Swords. That is people younger people who are investigating, coming after him. And the Justice card. Yep. Okay, looks like Mr. Slippers is gonna be in trouble. So what kind of trouble is he going to be in? How bad is it going to be? I'm not even going to got 4 cards. I'm not going to even try to put them down here because the Tale of Destruction is in full force tonight. So I'll put these here and I will make a pile of these other cards. Okay, what's gonna happen? King of Swords, often an investigator. 10 of Wands. Oh, apparently I missed it. Oh, here we go. 10 of Wands is the card of burden. And quite often in the Rider-Waite deck, it comes up as a lot of court cases being brought against Trump or whomever. Or it's like a clerk who has to carry just mounds and mounds and mounds of paper, files and giant binders and you name it. So investigators, 10 of Wands, I'll leave that there. 10 of Swords, everything building up and coming against him. 6 of Cups, which is the nostalgia card. But also in this deck it often comes up as children are in bad schools, in failing schools, in run-down schools. So that would speak to me in this context as, well, nostalgia and his memories of the distant past being a little askew, because they are in all of us. But the farther you get away from memories, the more they go askew. But also him having to pay taxes, because his tax money, if he was paying taxes, would help a lot of schools, potentially. But that's investigator, lots of court cases, things building up against him. Yeah, and that's sitting at the bottom of the deck here. So that's what I'm getting. Now, of course, the question is Mr. Slippers, and we're going to see the inside of a jail cell. I know, I kid. Don't even need to put these down, do we? 1, 2, 3, No. That's his wife, the Queen of Pentacles. That's somehow the other side dropping the ball, or not being able to bring the other side, being left out in the cold and them dropping the ball on something. And he is hampered, hemmed in, but his wife is right there. But anyway, that's what I'm getting for that. So perhaps there will be justice in the future. Wouldn't that be nice? All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so grateful, and thank you so much to my patrons. This channel would not be able to go on without you. There are good days ahead.